One of these is a $700 mirrorless camera and the other one is a $130 webcam. Can you tell me which one is which? Let me know in the comments below. Is this the $130 webcam or is this the $130 webcam? So I'm pretty sure it's obvious, but this is my Canon M50. It's a $700 pretty darn good camera, which meets most of my needs when it comes to cameras. However, your needs and my needs could be oceans apart, and sometimes instead of a costly mirrorless camera, a good old webcam will do the trick. Enter Obsbot. Obsbot is one of the few brands in this space that has found the balance between quality and price. And with that being said, allow me to introduce you to none other than the Meet 2. Now, full disclosure, Obsbot did send me the Meet 2 for free for the purposes of this review. And if you like what you see in this video, you can pick one up for $130, but Black Friday is around the corner, so you're probably going to be able to get your hands on a Meet 2 at up to about 20% off. And if you use the code down here, right here, you can get yourself an additional 5% off. Now, let's get started. So for $130, you're getting a small compact webcam available in 3 different colors. And this thing right here is tiny, and I love its absolutely sleek design. Look at this thing, it's beautiful. It has excellent build quality, which I find to be pretty standard for Obsbot and other cameras, or Obsbot's other cameras, I should say. Inside the box, of course, you're gonna find yourself the camera, a USB cable, and the magnetic mount. And yes, I said magnetic. You simply take the mount that you have here, pop it on top of your monitor, and then you can simply drop the camera right on top of the mount and let magnetism handle the rest. I really appreciate this because it makes adjusting the camera of the angle of the camera a lot easier than it traditionally would be if you had it screwed into a threaded mount. But if you don't want to entirely rely on the science behind magnetism, then don't worry, because the Meet 2 also comes with the standard mounted thread at the bottom. So for $130, you're going to be able to use the Meet 2 and you're going to be able to capture at 1080 60 or 4K 30. And that is a little bit insane because the only other camera that is somewhat close to this price point that is also able to capture at 4K 30 is ironically Obsbot's Tiny Light 2, which I believe was somewhere in the $150 to $170 price point. So they went from $170 in worst case scenario, max case scenario, and dropped it down to $130 to allow you to capture at 4K 30, which is kind of insane when you think about it. What you're looking at right now is me capturing with the Meet 2 at 4K 30. Now, of course, you should know, or I should at least inform you, that I'm uploading this video at 1080, so you're not going to see it in 4K quality, but it should produce a sharper and cleaner image, capturing at 4K 30 and then also downscaling it to 1080 to upload it into YouTube, right? But the fact of the matter is that you can capture at 1080 60 or 4K 30, again, for $130. Hey, so it turns out that Obsbot just released a firmware update for the Meet 2 along with an update to the Obsbot Center app, and they went ahead and included gesture control to the Meet 2. So for example, if I wanted to zoom in on my beautiful face, just simply hold an L up to the camera. All right, and then boom, you can kind of see my moneymaker. It's a little fuzzy, but that's because I'm hella zoomed in, all right? But then if I were to move, let's say over here, and I hold my hand up, like so, auto framing automatically kicks in even though I had it initially turned off. Pretty cool stuff. Now back to the video. The Meet 2 also comes equipped with a 1/2-inch CMOS sensor. This allows it to perform excellently in low lighting conditions. And what I mean is that I've been doing YouTube for some time, right? I've got a pretty decent setup over here. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but I have a decent lighting setup going on here. But that's not the case for everybody, especially if you're just getting started. So you have to be able to get something, or you're going to want to get something webcam wise, that's going to give you the best results given the lighting conditions that you're working with. So what you're looking at now is the Meet 2 with all of my settings done manually, including exposure. I'm going to go ahead and turn on exposure into automatic and let you see how this camera handles various lighting scenarios. So check it out. Now, one of the things that I worry about when it comes to webcams is their ability to produce good, consistent autofocus. All right, I prefer using manual focus on my mirrorless cameras, for example, but some webcams, you don't have that choice. You're able to do manual focus in the app that drives that camera, but really it's just a slider that does digital focus, okay? So there's this thing that happens, it's called focus hunting. And you've seen it before, I know you have, where it's like the camera shot from the webcam is kind of like going in and out of focus, trying to find the subject to focus in on. And some webcams are really, really bad at that and have terrible focus hunting. And it kind of creates a disruptive, I guess, experience, right? So what you're seeing now is the Meet 2. I have autofocus turned on. I am in focus from what I can see here in my OBS preview, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how good it does at locking in on focusing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop my hand here in front of it. All right, that was a little bit quicker than I thought it would be, but then boom, just like that. And it's very, very, very smooth. I love that. Now, something that makes Obsbot very unique when it comes to its webcams is that several of them, most of them, and what they're really known for is the fact that they come on PTZ gimbals, point tilt zoom. All right, something like the Obsbot Tail Air or even the Obsbot Tiny Light 2, they come on a little gimbal that allows you to do AI tracking, and it allows you to move left to right, to pan, tilt up and down, and zoom in and out on the subject. The Meet 2 obviously is just a square, so it doesn't have a gimbal to do PTZ on, but it does have auto framing. And what auto framing does when it's turned on, which it is now, is that if you kind of move around a little bit, boom, it's going to always try and find you and place you in frame in an optimal position. And that's particularly good for those of us content creators who like to move around, especially in moments of hype, like you get the last kill in Warzone or some clutch goal in EAFC 20, whatever the hell we're at now. It's going to be fantastic. Now, I will say, and you can tell right now from what just happened, it does take a little while for it to kick in. You kind of have to be in the field of view of the camera for it to register you and then adjust the frame accordingly. So if you're moving around erratically, you're probably not going to get like the best results possible. But the fact that it comes included as a feature and it does it to some degree is a nice feature to have. Now, for those of you out there who are doing content on vertical platforms such as TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, the cool thing is that because this comes on a magnetic mount, you're not locked into landscape the entire time. Pardon me for 1 second. You can go ahead and turn the camera on its side and start capturing content in vertical formats, which is fantastic, right? Because on older other webcams like my Elgato Facecam Mark II, like my Obsbot Tiny Light 2, you have to literally turn the camera on its side to get it to capture vertically. And the fact that it's mounted is what really makes that a little bit more of a challenge. Whereas here, you're on a magnetic mount, you just pop it up, turn it, pop it down, and you're done. And as a matter of fact, now we're back to landscape, just like that. In order to get the most out of your Meet 2, you're gonna have to download the Obsbot Center app, all right? And within this app, you're gonna have a variety of settings that you can alter to gain total control of the Meet 2 and really dial it in to get the image and the positioning that you wanna get. You're able to adjust settings such as your contrast, saturation, hue, and sharpness. If you decide to not roll with auto framing, you can turn that off and manually adjust the zoom and the PTZ of the Meet 2 by using some of the controls provided to you in the Obsbot Center app. Of course, you're also able to adjust your ISO, shutter speed, white balance. The Obsbot Center app also comes equipped with a series of effects that you're able to take advantage of. I personally love the bokeh effect because to date, it is the cleanest bokeh effect I have ever seen any sort of webcam application execute. In the years of trying out different webcams and different applications, this is super, super clean. But I will tell you this, it also has a lot to do with your lighting. So just be mindful of that. The Meet 2 is incredibly friendly when it comes to app compatibility. I'm using it on OBS right now. It's literally a plug and play experience. If you're having to work remotely or work from home and you have to take Zoom calls or Teams calls that you and I both know could have probably easily been emails, the Meet 2 will work on those applications as well, which will help you look your absolute best when it comes to these calls that really, again, should have just been emails. Given the quality that the Meet 2 has to offer at $130, I can't help but recommend this webcam to anyone in the market for a budget-friendly webcam that punches well above its weight. 4K 30, auto framing, small, elegant form factor. I mean, look at this thing. It's beautiful. This is one of Obsbot's best cameras to date. And if you get it, you won't regret it. Hope you enjoyed the video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions, go ahead and sound off in the comments below. Until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to one another. Don't forget, if you want to buy this camera, it's $130 now. It's gonna go on sale about 20% off on Black Friday. And if you use my code down here at the bottom, you'll get an additional 5% off on top of that, which is basically 1/4 of the price just gone. Until next time, y'all take care.